I feel like AI is making me dumber. There's so many videos about AI editors currently out there yelling at you that you need to use Cursor or Windsurf or maybe even the new Firebase Studio. And generally said, they are not wrong. You should use them because they make you faster, and I'm sure they will replace us someday. But this day is not today or tomorrow. So in this video, we face the reality. How should you actually work with AI? How to not get dumber and instead start growing and get a better developer. So I'm showing you my mental model today. What's wrong and what's right, how I use Cursor and what I definitely would avoid when working with it. But before we start, let me introduce the sponsor of today's video, Abacus AI. And they have a tool called ChatLLM. And for example, they have models like GPT-4o, Claude, Gemini, but also very new models like O4 Mini High or O3 High, so models that just came out days ago. But ChatLLM is even smarter. So they have an LLM called Route LLM, which basically decides based on your prompt what's the right model to use. And that's making the results even better. So when typing in your prompt, Route LLM understands which model is the best for that use case. They actually even support image generation, like you can see here, flying cat, or for example, video generation. And one thing that I think is pretty cool is they can chat with your GitHub codebase. And they even have a ton of more functionalities like chat with large PDFs, create custom chatbots, control user management and reporting, and even more like, for example, a humanizer, a code executor, and even more tools like Code LLM or App LLM where you can create whole apps. So a lot of possibilities here, and all that for just $10 a month. I think that sounds pretty fair. Links in the description, and thank you to Abacus for sponsoring this video. So let's get back. I see people out there connecting stuff with MCP servers and building whole projects just with AI. But this is not the reality. So usually we don't have fancy MCP servers, and we're not working in a vibe coding company. And no, we're not getting rich with that $1 million idea we had when we learned programming. That's just not the reality, to be honest. The reality is we are working for a company. We have a big code base, we have a legacy code in there, and it's very complex. And that's 3 things AI is just not the best. So we need to use AI more mindfully here. Because the thing is, you don't need to know all those fancy things. Because what you really need to know is just how to get actually a better dev with these tools. So you shouldn't be overwhelmed by all these tools, but you should also not ignore them. So this mental model here now is the wrong way of thinking. So like you're having a problem, you're prompting the AI, and you're blindly accepting the output. That's like the worst case, because basically you don't understand anything and you're getting dumber. And that's what I mean when I say getting dumber. With just blindly accepting the output, you will not get a better developer, trust me. So what is the right mental model now? How should you actually think about things? Let's say you have a problem again, and what you should do is solve it on your own. So you think about, why is this happening? Do other people have these problems as well? And how can I avoid it in the future? Because with doing that, with thinking on your own and researching the web, you will learn so much more than asking the AI. But asking the AI is still great if you know it's now the right use case for that. But you need to think about that. Is it the right use case? And if you ask the AI, understand it and review the output. So not just, oh, okay, I'm just accepting. Because that's kind of like the accepting trap. That's like the worst thing you could ever do because you learn nothing and you don't understand your codebase anymore. So if you did all that and maybe you ask the AI, you definitely get to a better solution. And I actually have a name for that. I actually call that the mindful coding principle. So again, MCP, but a little bit different here. So I always think about, how can I grow on this task? Or better say, how can I grow on that problem? So if you now or in the future have a problem, you should do the following. How can I get better? Think mindfully. Think about, how can this problem make me a better developer if I understand it? And how could I avoid it in the future then? So find a solution mindfully. And what really helps with going mindfully and getting a little bit of motivation is getting yourself in a curious position. So think about, okay, I have no idea why this is happening. So I will definitely know more than now if I can solve that on my own. If I can solve that and understand the solution. So I should do so, right? So that's how I think about that. I hope that makes sense. Okay, let's finally jump into code. I will show you how I use Cursor and how I work with AI. So the code editor you're seeing here is Cursor, a fork of VS Code. That means basically it's just VS Code, but it has some more AI functionalities. It's generally free, but there is a paid tier where you get more tokens and all that stuff, but you can definitely work with the free version. It's better than just using VS Code. And while Cursor has a lot of functions, I think there are 3 core functions that you will use day to day and that are just very, very beneficial to use. And the first core functionality is Command K. Because with Command K, you can just do quick inline edits. So I just select the code that I want to have edited, click Command K and say, make that data more realistic probably. And now I see how it's just doing its job. And that's how we go. We now have wireless noise cancelling headphones, for example. But this is how I use Command K for simple edits that I'm just too lazy to do on my own. But I know how to do them. And that's exactly the use case here. You know how to do it, but you want to save time. That's when I use Command K, and that's when you should use Command K. Because what's very tempting to do, we can accept that here, what's very tempting to do is maybe let's say you have some complex logic in here, and then you're just marking the thing, click Command K and type in fix. That's the worst thing you can do because you are lazy when you're doing that. And when you're just accepting that, you maybe have a fix, but the fix is maybe not how things should be fixed in your project, or it's just not right. So avoid doing that. So the next core functionality is the chat. And I use a key binding for, I think, Command L, which is opening the chat, but not the agent. Because that's the mandatory difference here. You have a ask mode and you have also a agent mode. But you should use the ask mode because let's say you have a problem. You are selecting the code and I'm just clicking Command L. So I'm getting here with the selected lines of code and I'm saying, hey, I have a problem here. Please help me fixing that and explain to me why this is happening. And if you don't understand it, just ask. Ask a lot of questions until you understand it. I know that's hard, but that just makes sense because we want to understand it and we want to get a better developer, right? So don't just say fix it, copy and paste, and you're good to go because you are, but you're not getting better. You are getting dumber again. And the third core functionality is tabbing. And tabbing is so great because basically you can't do anything wrong here and it's just saving you time. So let's say here in the product catalog, I want another row. So I click comma and I click enter and there we go. And that's what tabbing means. So I can just click tab right now and he's filling in that line. And now he even gave me more things to tab into. So I can tab again and I get even more products. And that's just saving time. And you can use that for so many things because usually that are things you already know how to do, like mapping over something, which is obvious that you're going to do that. Or if you go into another line here, it's probably obvious that you want to add another row. So that's how tabbing works. And the fourth core functionality, which I don't want to suggest to you, is the agent mode. The agent mode is pretty interesting because it can change files, it can create new files, it can run commands. But you can shoot yourself in the foot very, very fast. And that's it. That's how I think about AI and that's how I use Cursor. If you want to see my favorite component of 2025, click here. And if not, have a great day. Bye bye.